Greetings, family. Peace and love to you and yours. This is Guru, and thanks for visiting my channel. Family, this video is about New Jersey welfare fraud that arrest sparks anti-Semitic sentiments. You see, on the social media comments on Facebook and other sites were raw and hateful. The outpouring of invectives were sparked by the arrest last week of 14 residents of Lakewood, New Jersey, including the rabbi of a congregation, on public assistance fraud charges. The early morning raids ignited a firestorm of anti-Semitism against a municipality of 100,000 that has a majority of Orthodox Jewish residents. Quote, "The allegations and the charges levied against the defendants have nothing to do with their religion," said Joshua Cohen, regional director of the Anti-Defamation League, New Jersey region. Quote, "That's why we're deeply concerned when we see comments online, whether it's on newspaper, websites, or social media, that are anti-Semitic," unquote. Well, I'm going to stop right there and just say it's really ironic how the Anti-Defamation League and others will speak loudly when people say things about them, but when it's said about other people, they are silent as church mouses. But let's continue. The hate speech moved off the internet and into the streets. Hate flyers spread around the township over the weekend, said residents who provided photos of the flyers. A white sheet hung over a Holocaust memorial at the Congregation Sons of Israel, covering the stone memorial. The cloth banner used an anti-Semitic slur and promoted a website for a white supremacy group, authorities said. Well, you see, these are white supremacists doing this to so-called Orthodox Jews who happen to be white-skinned. When I've never believed that the chosen people, or will say Jewish people, were really white people. I've never believed that. I know that they've hijacked the name, the term, and they've placed it on themselves and said, no, we're Orthodox, we're Jews. Sure, they promote that, and they want you to continuously believe that, but I don't. I'm one of those people who don't believe that they're the real Jews. But I'll continue. And before I go on, I just want to say that this rabbi here, he says, every community has their bad apples, said Rabbi Moshe Zev Weisberg, a member of the VAT, a voluntary council of Orthodox Jewish leaders and business members in Lakewood, New Jersey. Quote, "But to paint over with a broad brush the entire community, it's unacceptable," unquote. Well, Rabbi, black people have been saying this the whole time, and I would imagine that at some point in time you've probably slipped yourself and did the same thing towards black people. But I'm not going to hold you accountable for the ills of people who look like you. I'm just making a point here. But let's continue. Lakewood Police Detective Lieutenant Gregory Stafford Smith said the incidents were being investigated. Quote, "We do believe that this recent rash of anti-Semitic incidents is directly related to the recent arrest in our town. We have not had any other incidents before," said Lakewood Police Chief Gregory Meyer. "We will not tolerate this kind of behavior, and we are working with the state and the county of New Jersey prosecutor's office in an attempt to make arrests. We will look to prosecute all incidents of bias crimes that take place against our citizens," unquote. Many of the online comments zeroed in on the religion of the accused and made sweeping, disparaging, and even dehumanizing statements about all Jewish people. You know how they do black people. You're doing the same thing to Jewish people. Well, so-called Jewish people, you know what I mean. But you're doing the same thing to these people. You know, the racists are good at that, though. They're good at that. But I'm not going to go over this whole story because, again, this isn't directly related to black people. I'm just exposing white supremacy once again. But this time they're discriminating and they're being racist towards their own people, towards people who look just like them. They just happen to be a different religion. But I digress. So although the primary vehicle for these hateful comments has been social media platforms such as Facebook, some Lakewood residents have experienced it in person. A driver in Lakewood cut in front of an ambulance and purposely slowed down, giving the ambulance driver, who was Jewish, the finger, said Moshe Zev Weisberg. You know, it was the rabbi picture that I showed you earlier. Back to the rabbi for a minute. He goes on to say, quote, "Without prejudging individuals, there are people who cross the line, but to paint over with a broad brush the entire community, it's unacceptable." Well, yeah, like I said, you guys are just getting a dose of what happens to black people all the time. As a matter of fact, you should be speaking up when that happens then and all the time, not just when it happens to Jewish people. Are you showing how hypocritical you are? Is that it? Is that what you're showing the world? Inquiring minds want to know. I'll leave a link of this article in the description, but again, I'm not going to cover everything because this is not our fight, at least not black people's fight, because they've never fought for us in the sense that especially when we need it in this day and age. So I'm not going to cover everything, some important things that I could cover, you know, to really point out some facts for them. I'm not going to do that. No, because they're silent on black issues. So I'm not going to enhance anything that's going to help them. But I will expose certain things, but I'm not going to do it in a way that's going to favor them in any kind of way. At least that's not going to be my intention. So anyways, as you can see from some of these homes, these white people who were committing fraud, welfare fraud, you could see how well they were living. They don't seem to be on welfare to me, but yet in all they were, and that's why the FBI showed up to arrest their ass. Yeah, you could see that some of these individuals, out of these 14 people, they live very comfortably on welfare, mind you, state government assistance. You know, what they claim that black people are constantly on. But look, black people don't live like this. White people, you guys need to leave your racist comments and leave your stupidity and ignorance to yourself because you don't know what you're talking about. These cases show the reality of what you guys are doing. Here is one of the criminals. Here, her name is Jochebed Breskin, 35. She was arrested on June 26 in connection with the public assistance fraud investigation. This mop monkey, his name is Mordechai Breskin, 37, was arrested June 26th in connection with public assistance fraud investigation. This ghost, her name is Tzipora Zortziskin, 35, was also arrested in connection with the public assistance fraud investigation. And this cave beast, Zalman Zortziskin, 39, was also arrested June 26 in connection with public assistance fraud investigation. As you can see, these are all white people, white pale males and white pale females arrested in connection with welfare fraud in New Jersey. Lakewood. So again, as you can see in New Jersey, the FBI had to go out there and arrest 14 residents for welfare fraud. And there was certainly a big commotion, big scene there. They had to call out, like I said, the FBI to arrest these hoodlums. Anyways, I'm going to end this off. There have been many stories that have been exposed where the perpetrators of welfare fraud were white people. There have been some black YouTubers who have exposed these people. And this, too, is another example of welfare fraud committed by white people on a huge scale, to where they're able to live in $100,000 homes and they don't look like they're on no kind of public assistance, if you ask me. But since they're white, you know, they have a privilege card, so they might get a lot more money while they're on welfare. You know, free money. Anyways, I'm going to end it off here. Thanks for watching. Peace and love to you and yours. Until the next video, thanks for watching. I'm out.